Hello and welcome to the Scan Zone Insomnia S01 special. We're going to be looking at all manners of peripherals. We're going to be looking at the latest in tech and of course the latest in gaming. We'll also have a competition where you can pick up one of these, an EVGA GeForce GTX 1060 graphics card. More about that later on. In the meantime, let's uncover a little bit about how Insomnia became the biggest gaming convention in the UK. Spin off.
Okay, so think of Insomnia as a music festival, but replace music with gaming. So you have a massive hall full of gamers who've all brought their own PCs across from all over the country and beyond. You've got main stages with esports tournaments. You've got this huge expo that we're stood in the middle of right now, and you've got YouTuber celebrities, you've got social events, you've got all sorts of evening activities going on. It's literally a celebration of all things gaming under one roof.
It's really crazy because the last time I was here, it was way smaller. Yeah. And now I'm here like 3 years later, and it's massive. Wow. And like, I mean, there's just so many more people here, and it's getting crazier and crazier every year. It's really awesome, actually, to see it improve.
I imagined when I first started out that I was literally like, it was 20 PCs in a hotel in Southampton in '94. It was hard to network PCs together back then. And it kind of grew from there, and it's like, you had little goals. Like, it'd be great if we could have 100 people for this, and then it could be great if we had 500 people for this. And I remember saying about 15 years ago, I said, you know what would be amazing? If we could build this event up to be at the NEC in Birmingham. And here we are now.
There's more games and there's more companies investing into this place, and I'm just like, wow. It's really cool because like 3 years ago I was doing boat races with the owner. So now I'm sitting here just like, wow, this is getting big. I can't even find him.
We all play games online, so we're kind of down here to meet up, and then the convention's like an extension of that. It's massive. It's so much bigger than I thought it would be. Yeah. I didn't expect drone racing to be here. That's pretty sick.
Well, in like the general cosplay, we've been building it over the last few years to be quite a big section now. The competition draws a pretty big crowd, and you know, there's always a nice prize to it as well.
So we've just played our first match in the group stages of Counter-Strike. We just 16-1 the other team, which is a really, really good score. Obviously 1 point away from being a completely perfect score. The dream would be to win the event, but that's never going to happen for a small team like us. And my personal goal is to make it out of groups and maybe get into, you know, sport like 16th and below placement. That's a really good placement.
This weekend, probably primarily playing a bit of Overwatch, a bit of Titanfall 1 and 2. Yeah, generally having some fun, meeting some friends, having a few drinks, having a good laugh. 3 times a year, I'll be here. You know, I know all the guys. It's good fun. In this particular area, we're quite chilled out. Everyone's just having fun playing casual games. But you'll see some rows, people kind of screaming, shouting, fist pumping, you know, shouting across the hall. It all depends what they're playing, what they're up against. Some people in really big tournaments, for example, you know, they get really into it. They take it very, very seriously. Well, I arrived probably around midday yesterday. Went to the bar, had a few drinks, got in with my rig, played a few games, had a few more drinks, and yeah, I'll be through here all the way through till Monday evening probably.
Insomnia is a 24/7 event, especially for the bring your own computer area, and if they wanted to, if they arrived at 6 PM on the Thursday, they could game 24/7 to 4 PM on the Monday. Now, we're never going to recommend anyone does that.
Does anyone manage it?
We have seen people do it, and we tell them, please go to bed. Yeah. Drink some water, look after, have a walk around. Yeah. We don't want, you know, we do have a duty of care, but some people will go straight through for 92 hours and look like zombies at the end of it. I don't know how. I don't know how they manage it, but yeah, there is the hardcore of the hardcore.
Okay, well, we're here at the Scan stand here at the heart of Insomnia, and I've got Ams with me. What's been happening here today? We've got a mixture of free play and VR, haven't we?
Oh, there's so much going on here on the Scan stand. First of all, we've got our tournament area. It's a free play area with a lot of our free access systems that we're showcasing off. Of course, we've also got our vendors, EVGA, MSI, and Asus on our stand. And of course, as you said, the VR.
Yeah, I'm going to have a go at that in a little minute. I've seen it, it looks great. Tell us, what kind of games have you got on the free play? What's happening at the moment?
So free play, we're showcasing Overwatch, and we're showcasing a long range of free access systems.
So as part of our free access systems bench, we've got systems ranging from the lower end spectrum of 750 Ti's, 1050 Ti's, all the way up to the Titan XP. We've got various Intel processors from the 6100 i3 up to the new i9 series in our Barracuda Dream PC over there as well. We've got all sorts of different tech. Latest motherboards, X299s are in there, Z270s are all in there. So we've got all the tech from low end all the way up to the really, really high end stuff.
Do you get a lot of people just coming in and have for a drool, basically? Is that what it says?
Oh, absolutely. We get lots of people, guys just started going like, oh my God, what is that machine? Especially with some of the really nice water-cooled pipes we've got. Yeah. All the hard tubing with the really nice bends. Yeah, all the time people just going, oh my God, that is beautiful.
Yeah, because the tech's nice, but the aesthetics are sometimes just as nice, aren't they?
The aesthetics make the machine, and it has to be RGB. If it's not RGB in this day and age, it's just not right.
Okay, so at the Corsair stand today, what we're doing is we're showing off the brand new Void Pro RGB. They're a brand new gaming headset. We've also got lots of things like the RGB throne that I'm sat in right now. We've also got a tournament bench where we're running some games where you can play against the streamer. And we've got a streaming zone with some of the biggest streamers in the UK, including Sackreal, Mars Bar. It's just going crazy here.
We've got a whole bunch of stuff going on the booth today. Behind us here, we've got a little stream section. So we've got Rage Darling currently streaming. We've got new peripherals, new keyboards. We've got a new laptop over here as well, the Zephyrus. We've got a bunch of systems that are built by our different retail partners as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on.
We're showcasing Project Cars in the VR. You know, you get to drive in a hydraulic system as well, so you get to race and feel the bumps and bruises that are going along with the course. The feedback we're getting from a lot of people is fantastic.
Hopefully you'll get some more great feedback when I have a go at this VR. Let's have a go then. Well, there you have it, Rams. What did you make of that?
Well, first of all, how do you feel?
Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty emotional right now. That was quite an experience just to have all my family here. The stands were empty, so I think I really achieved something here today. Well, Insomnia isn't all just about driving technology forward and innovation. There's something here for everyone. In fact, a lot of people were pretty happy with the way gaming was. Here's the retro area. I mean, look at that telly. Look at that telly. Perfection.
I brought my son Christopher last year and actually thoroughly enjoyed myself. I've never played computer games ever, but he's really into, well then Minecraft, Overwatch, stuff like that. He puts stuff on YouTube. So me playing Space Invaders now for the first time ever, and I am spectacularly bad, but it's fun.
So we came through the door and immediately felt incredibly old and slightly out of it, so we found a very useful game, Space Invaders, which I actually do remember playing, and we're not doing too badly. Although we've had a go at GoldenEye and we're both rubbish.
Well, I was actually really interested in trying out the retro games. So my dad had always talked about with the games he'd played like GoldenEye, Space Invaders, and I never really had a chance to play them on consoles. So I heard that they had this retro zone, which is awesome. And you get to try it, play GoldenEye, that sort of thing. It's absolutely amazing.
I had to play GoldenEye because my old primary school had an N64. So I sort of grew up with the previous console generation in that respect, and it was like, we played this game so much, it was literally my favourite thing ever.
Well, we've had a look at what's happening now in the world of gaming. We've even had a little walk down memory lane in the retro section, but here there's also a dedicated section to the future. Indie developers all here with that dream of being spotted by one of the major players in the gaming industry and maybe get the chance to develop one of their pretty novel ideas, such as nature's zombie apocalypse. Well, who else would the zombie apocalypse belong to? Let's have a look.
So Nature's Zombie Apocalypse is where all the humans have turned into zombies and the animals have to fight back and save the world. So you can be all kinds of different animals. You can be a sloth, you can be a pangolin, you can be a gorilla, an elephant, and they've all got different special moves. You all work together to save the world, and absolutely chaotic. Up to 8 players can play at the same time, and a whole load of crazy ideas that we just chucked into the game to make it absolutely chaotic. We're a 2-man team and we've been working on this for just under 3 years now, and we're we're on Steam Early Access at the moment, and we'll be on Xbox One next year. We love Insomnia. It's a great event, and we get to showcase our game, and these opportunities for indies to show at events like this are fantastic.
I really like the indie booths and the retro stuff here because, especially with the indie areas, there's a lot of you can just talk to the developers. Just it's interesting to get that kind of look behind the curtain.
So with me, sure, I've got Matt, another indie game developer here. We've got Surefooting. Can you tell us a little bit about it, Matt?
Yeah, so Surefooting is a fast-paced infinite runner where you can play as 4 customizable characters to try and escape Deletion Dave, who's a virus trying to delete your world. So we've been working on this for about 2.5 years. It originally started as a research project into procedural content generation, which means basically the levels are generated by the computer, so you never play the same level twice. We've managed to find a release date, which is the 1st of February 2018 for Steam, and then consoles next year at some point.
Well, that was a little look at some games that might be coming out in the future, but let's have a look at some games that are definitely coming out this month.
The introduction of Ultimate Team a few years ago has been the main force driving FIFA to be successful and continues on with more added features including FIFA Ultimate Team Icons. Icons, which used to be called Legends, was a feature for the Xbox only and now is available on all platforms where you can now add the likes of Maradona, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho and more to your Ultimate Team. Last but not least is the story mode called The Journey, where you play as Alex Hunter, which was introduced in FIFA 17, now continues on in FIFA 18 to see where Alex goes in his second year career. FIFA 18 will release at the end of the month. The Dishonored series is such a unique franchise, blending fluid stealth action and brutal eviscerating combat into a first-person perspective, and now it rolls on with the death of the outsider. You play as Billy Lurk, a character who was in both of the previous Dishonored games. Billy finds her old mentor known as Dord, and is now on the hunt for the most powerful being in the game, the Outsider. This is the first time that the game will be a standalone version, meaning you don't need the previous titles to actually play the game. Rivalries are a bit of a theme again, as sim racing titles are coming out around this time of year. And out in first comes Project Cars 2, bolstering over 170 cars from 35 elite manufacturers, 60 venues with multiple track layouts, new vehicle types which include oval racing, IndyCar racing and one of my favourites, Rallycross. Along with all that comes Live Track 3.0, which changes the weather of the track during a race weekend. That will also affect how your vehicle performs in that situation, trying to give you that feeling of actually being there and trying to cope with what's going on. GT Sport and Forza Motorsport 7 will be here next month, but it's going to be tough for them with the amount that Project Cars 2 has to offer. Of course, the release of Destiny 2 is finally here, and PC owners would have just had a chance at the beta recently and won't be getting their hands on it until October. Still though, if you're a massive fan that is itching to play, even if you're waiting for the PC version, even if you already own a console, Destiny 2 is still one to get for this month.
Well, that's almost all from the Scan Zone for now, although there's just enough time to tell you how you can win your EVGA GeForce GTX 1060 graphics card. If you want to pick up one of these, and a lot of people have been asking, it's caused quite a stir. Well, it's easy. It's easy. It's not one of those competitions where you have to answer a question. No, all you have to do is enter the link up here if you're watching on Facebook, and the link down there if you're watching us on YouTube. Just enter. It's easy. It's free. So make sure to follow us on social media for all the latest tech news, and of course for some chances to win some fantastic prizes. Well, Insomnia never sleeps, but that's all from the Scan Zone for now. We'll see you soon.